bit of jungle with the Hecarim ban, but against Pridestalker, that seems like a drop in the bucket. Pridestalker has been one of the junglers that has really diverted from the meta jungle champion. It's been very happy to pick up these AD assassin jungle champs. And so a really good first pick here from Golden Guardians, grabbing the priority Ryze and setting themselves up for an AD jungler here. Meanwhile, Closer gets the Lee Sin. Also been one of his mainstays along there with the Viego. I honestly put their power very, very even for him. Even though everyone focuses on the Viego side, he also won them the finals with that Lee Sin.
And hey, they also got Jinx from Arcane, who has been an incredible staple in the meta here pretty much since Arcane.
And that Seraphine from Captain Flower's hate list, almost
hey,
locked in.
That one didn't get locked in. That one didn't get locked in. No, instead we're just going to look back and forth between a couple of popular mid laners. We'll settle on Viktor for Abbeddage there for 100 Thieves. It is the Kaisa and Nautilus over there on the side of Golden Guardians.
Yeah.
So a little bit of uneven draft in terms of the roles picked in the first half here.
If they had not already locked in the Ryze, we would start talking about the LCK style mid Kaisa, the poke Kaisa that has become popular and that Faker used. But since it is locked in after the Ryze with the Nautilus, is going to look like the bottom lane there for them. We'll see about the build also if you're going to rush into the Muramana, kind of like the mid Kaisa does. Renata banned away though. No, I wanted to see some Renata.
R.I.P.
And again, it's against 100 Thieves. Every time we see this, Huhi has played it a lot, very frequently on Champions Queue. So I was really hoping to see him especially get his hands on Renata, but is denied here away from the combo with Jinx.
And hey, considering 100 Thieves made sure they got their own jungler nice and early, and they also targeted Hecarim in the first phase of the bans, they're going to continue to target the jungle pool a little bit here. Volibear and Gragas both taken out of the picture, but back to what you already said, Pridestalker is someone who does not care if he gets knocked down a couple of rungs on the tier list, just because he's willing to play the weird stuff that other people are not willing to play. Tryndamere gets banned out though, so I am sorry, Kobe. There will be no Ssumday Tryndamere for you today.
It is a good ban though from Golden Guardians. 100 Thieves talked about it too in their interview after their draft, how they kind of use it as a building block for a lot of options that they want to be able to have to play out this game. And 100 Thieves will save their last counter pick for Ssumday. So even though Tryndamere is banned out, he will get counter on Licorice.
Yup, that's going to be dangerous stuff up there top side. Let's see how Golden Guardians want to navigate this one. Still need to see a jungler. Still need to see a top laner. They know that they got Leona down there with the Jinx now, so the top laner just going to be one of those safe blinds pretty much. Whenever Gnar is good enough to be played, Gnar is good enough to be blinded, it feels like. Sometimes he has a couple of really bad matchups, but usually he gets picked in these types of situations, and okay, it'll be Nocturne, the jungler for Golden Guardians.
That's why we keep talking about Pridestalker being willing to play these AD assassin-type junglers, and Nocturne also fits into that boat. Now, the Bruiser itemization was nerfed, so definitely going to be excited to see if he goes for a more attack damage base, more lethal Nocturne build than previous. But as you're talking about the Gnar as well, yeah, it just takes maybe 1 or 2 protection bans sometimes to be able to get that blind in there, and it's answered with the Sion. One of the best, actually the premier tank currently. Him and Ornn definitely the best there for Ssumday, 100 Thieves. And this is one of the setups and the styles for 100 Thieves that they have shown actually consistency on, which is kind of rare for this team. But when they have Ssumday on either Ornn or Sion, having that tank from the top side does allow them these more structured team fights. So they definitely got a setup that they're happy with.
We're hopping back into Assist of the Week, presented by State Farm. Dancing around objectives to get the perfect fight is a challenge every team is thoroughly tested on. In this assist, Closer displays incredible teamfight control, assisting nearly everyone on his team to get 100 Thieves through the fight.
Score JJ now dropping as well, a double for Abbeddage, and this is the team fight going the way of 100 Thieves. They roll more forward, getting the CC, yes, they root him in place, and Bjergsen is gonna drop as well. 100 Thieves crush the team fight.
Let me say this to you, Kobe, because a lot of late game power on the side of 100 Thieves. The Sion with the infinite health. Pridestalker focusing on here in this early game to make sure that 100 Thieves doesn't have solid ground to stand on and work towards that scaling?
The jungle. You thought I was going to say a lane, huh? Well, Pridestalker, Nocturne needs to focus on getting level 6 jungle.
Okay, clear them camps.
It's very, very important. Once you get your level 6, then you can try and attack these low mobility carries, the Viktor or the Jinx. Those are the two you're trying to blow flashes on early on and then Nocturne ult them. So whichever lane, either mid or bottom, can make the play and burn the summoner spell, that's where you send Pridestalker. That's where you go for this kill. Bottom lane is longer of a lane and has double melee supports, so you also have pretty good setup there and possibilities. Even if you haven't preemptively blown the Jinx flash, you can still make bottom side plays very effectively if you rush to a level 6, because as a jungle, your level then very comparative with the bottom laner levels, and oftentimes you can get 6 before the bottom laners and have this big ulti advantage for down there. Plus, Ryze. You want to unlock the Ryze first to be able to roam down to your bottom lane play. So if we are going to target the Jinx, which, Nocturne trying to get to level 6 first, you push out mid for your Ryze first, and then allow your Ryze to roam with you. That way, even if you get counter ganked, you'll have the extra advantage, and you should be able to win the even numbers play as well.
All right, drawing some little mathematical looking A squared, B squared. I was waiting for the C squared to show up through the jungle there.
This is going to be on your homework. I'm going to quiz you next week.
No, I think I'm going to be sick that day. Anyway, down here in bottom lane, we already got Huhi going in. Him and FBI trading blows with the Golden Guardians. Just a little bit of damage back and forth. While we are bottom lane, I also do want to mention there is discrepancy in summoner spells for both AD carries and supports in this one. Lost running the cleanse to be able to deal with some of that CC threat coming out from the Leona specifically. FBI on the default heal. But then with the supports, Huhi has opted for the exhaust to deal with some of that dive coming in from the Nocturne, protect these vulnerable carries in the Jinx and Viktor that you were talking about, whereas Olleh is looking for more of the kill threat there with the Ignite. Pridestalker still just farming away and clearing towards the top side of his jungle as we check in on how that's going.
Yeah, it's always a very, very important thing for any, assassin player or melee carry player to always scan for exhaust on the opponent team. So I'm sure you're well accustomed to doing this, so good call out there, as that cooldown basically just nullifies Nocturne. It's so difficult. Your spell shield, though, is a very valuable tool when you're going in for these dives, and they're hoping that they're going to be able to coordinate, Gnar either TP and flank in, or just Ryze having flashes and flanks to be able to make sure that Nocturne is not going by himself. Nocturne always wants someone else to dive with him. It's extremely rare to be able to solo out the enemy carry in a team fight scenario, because they'll be peeling for you, and things like exhaust and all the stuns and peels and stuff will be there. Bottom side, though, is where Closer wants to go, right over the ward. Olleh and Lost will know, no problem. We play safe at our tower.
And I commented earlier about how 100 Thieves has this powerful scaling, and I really like the fact that they have an early game jungler to be able to try to get them there. As top side, Licorice takes a little bit of damage back from Ssumday.
Also, nothing really given up by Closer by going for that pass on bottom side, since he full cleared his top quadrant first before heading down there. And we're approaching 4-minute mark here. Should have everything cleared off the map for junglers, and you have plenty of time to go for your deep ward, go for your reset. The one thing we'll point out there is that Pridestalker now has verified info that it was definitely topside start, and they've got plenty of wards on this top quadrant, so they will see the second respawn of the neutral camps of Closer here, of Lee Sin, which is very important in tracking those early options that you were talking about for 100 Thieves.
Keeping an eye on the one man who's going to be trying to make those plays nice and early is imperative for the Golden Guardians to have success here in these early stages. The current gold lead is a couple hundred in their favor. That'll probably level out here as a couple minion waves get caught. But Golden Guardians, I want to see them active, man. As soon as this Nocturne hits 6, I want to see plays being made.
And AblazeOlive is following our arrows that we drew earlier.
Okay.
Push in mid.
He's triangulating.
Look to roam. Look to get those deep wards on the bottom side. He's setting up the play for when he has roam up, for when Nocturne has ultimate, and they can dive bomb on the Jinx on the bottom lane. And honestly, this is a good strategy. If we zoom out to watch the Leona run through, but also to examine how these two teams have got to this point in the LCS. It has been Golden Guardians with massive plays. Okay, flash over though.
Whoa, okay. You want to talk about plays? Well, here we go. Huhi flashing in. He'll trade flashes with the AblazeOlive there, but doesn't do a whole lot of damage.
Does make the bottom side a bit more vulnerable for 100 Thieves for the possible level 6 Nocturne play, because then Huhi won't be able to get out even if FBI can't escape. But mid lane very attackable, and so blowing that flash is important here off the support roam, because Pridestalker is clearing on top side. Closer start off this dragon, and it should be 100 Thieves getting the bottom side objective first, thereby kind of reducing the value that Golden Guardians could get out of that possible bottom side play. Because even if you get the kills, then you don't have an objective to pick up afterwards.
Right, plus the aggro in the mid lane and the attempt on AblazeOlive's life coming out from Huhi made it so that wave was able to be shoved up by Abbeddage, meant that it's that much easier for Closer to take this dragon with no concern about being contested. And with AblazeOlive's flash down, I specifically want to see Closer go in to make an insect play mid lane as soon as he's got his ult now. Very clear targets on the map, I think.
Yeah, and they do have decent wards around mid lane too. They've used these control wards in their sweepers to clear out the vision around mid, around AblazeOlive, so he's definitely a possible kill target. I will say, for our goals for Pridestalker, focusing on his level 6, focusing on jungle and farming for the Nocturne to try and get there. He has just returned to full clear, and Krugs will be up here, so he'll approach his level 6 as he finishes these Krugs and red buff. And then we get to the exciting part of the game. We haven't had any attempt at the all-ins, any attempt at the exciting plays yet, because he was so focused on getting to that level 6. But both junglers having access to their ultimates now is actually going to introduce that volatility.
All right, Licorice is doing a really good job up here in top side so far as well. 66 compared to 38 in terms of farm. Been doing well, keeping Ssumday underneath the turret, making him miss a lot of that CS. Ssumday only has a Dorian shield and a tier to his name, so he will be stacking towards a Fimbulwinter, but it's still going to be quite a while before that comes online. Unfortunately, Sion doesn't really have super spammable spells, so it's not going to stack terribly quickly.
Yeah, a lot of the tanks do like getting the early tiers so that they can use their abilities to try and clear out the waves, but to your point, Licorice has been harassing him so effectively that this is an abnormal amount of CS denial, I feel like, and Licorice is doing very, very good, pushing the Gnar matchup early on very well here against Ssumday, who last time we saw him on a tank, we mentioned the Ornn. It was very good for 100 Thieves. He only went down 10 or 15 CS in total in the early game, and then brought the Ornn upgrades and the big CC that you need later. This time around, definitely a bit more punishing, to say the least.
Little bit rough up here in the top side for old Ssumday, but Golden Guardians, they now have their jungler at level 6. You can see on the side of the screen, Licorice topping those gold charts. Yes, both mid laners are right behind him, both AD carries hanging out there too, but Ssumday is only beating the supports, and he's only beating them by a couple hundred gold, so he's being left in the dust pretty quickly here as AblazeOlive rotates over to help Pridestalker make sure they secure this Rift Herald as Ssumday makes his way with the ulti back underneath his turret, where I'm pretty convinced he will be staying for the rest of this laning phase, my friend.
Yeah, he has picked up the Warden's Mail, so that helps a bit, but Gnar actually has some magic damage mixed into the kit as well, so is still going to be rough. And man, picking up the Rift Herald on top of it for Golden Guardians is the perfect recipe for their strong early games. That has been the tendency for this team. Now, when Pridestalker goes for his Nocturne play with the ultimate, he will also be able to cash in if they get a kill with the Rift Herald in the perfect location. So if you get a kill with your Nocturne ultimate, oftentimes you'll be able to push in on the turret with the lane partners that you were able to get that kill with, and hopefully take an entire turret with the Rift Herald.
Also worth noting, those flashes that we saw traded earlier in mid lane. Huhi and AblazeOlive got a little bit under a minute or so left, I believe, before those cooldowns are up and available. So if we want to see either side try to punish that play, it has to be very soon. Otherwise, we're just going to go back to the starting point on that one. Licorice continuing to clear out some vision up here. The Sheen in the inventory, too. Not only does he have the magic damage you're talking about with the hyper procs, but now every boomerang plus auto attack follow-up is going to hurt that much more. Times are just going to get tougher and tougher for Ssumday up here, trying to weather the storm from the little Yordle. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, looking at the build from Kaisa here, we've got the Serrated Dirk, the Warhammer, has the tier in the inventory, so still excited to see kind of what we're going to see out of this Kaisa throughout the game. Huhi level 6, FBI level 6, Olleh and Lost the same. I'm kind of hoping we just get a full-on 2v2 down here. I'm itching for some violence, buddy. It's 10 minutes into the game and still no first blood.
I can see you getting a little jittery up there. Flowers starts to shake a little if there's 10 minutes.
Just give me the Nexus Blitz fire ring thing. If you choose not to PvP in a PvP game for 10 minutes, you get the Ring of Fire.
Yeah, it definitely does go a little bit along the lines of what tanks and carries get picked in the games, and so it's not a huge surprise. And even this amount of burst damage, you know, I'm not going to get overly excited about in mid lane because it's just a chunk and no junglers or supports quite there to capitalize on Abbe's little exchange here. But it is going to be a 50% health chunk that will send Ablaze back to base and probably prompt the response of the teleport, so teleports will be matched. Licorice still has his teleport advantage, though. So he's pressured Ssumday so much that his teleport advantage actually now timing out with the spellbook as well ready. But I think you're eyeballing the junglers, Clayton, to see if we can actually get one of these 2v2s or bottom lane plays to pop off. Dragon might be the site for the actual fight.
But the thing to remember is the teleports are not unleashed. It is still only 11 minutes into the game, so that means even if our top laners want to get involved, they're going to have to teleport to a turret and then walk their way over. There ends up being no fight over the dragon at all, and it's just Golden Guardians securing that one for free. That'll tie our Drakes up at 1-1. Golden Guardians have a 1.5 thousand gold lead 12 minutes into the game with an even Drake state. So the question I pose to you, is that enough to feel good against the scaling of 100 Thieves?
I feel good right now. And again, these questions about scaling are projected at various different time points really deep into the game.
Right.
For the mid stages, Golden Guardians are totally fine. And they also have Rift Herald just used. So Rift Herald in pocket is more gold than he's even showing on screen. So that's going to cash in 2 more plates. Even maybe if Ablaze can get a few more autos off here. Finishes off the last one there with the Rift Herald swipe. So that is split between Ablaze and Pridestalker as well. And once Pridestalker gets to first mythic item, Stridebreaker is finally completed, with the slow being very useful for keeping people slowed and in your fear tether range. Although at this stage, when everybody has flashes, you usually still want to early flash. Get your Stridebreaker slow on them and early flash over them so that they can't get out if they decide to go for the play. But again, no openings have been made in the lanes. No lanes playing over aggressive, burning each other's summoner spells. No really aggressive, volatile trades have gone on. It's mostly been a handshake here for the early game, where now the time crunch, I do start to put a little bit more emphasis on the roaming from Golden Guardians. Those arrows we drew at the very beginning of the game with Ryze and Nocturne really wanting to make these roam plays. That necessity really starts to heat up in the mid game. You know, you've had access to these ultimates for quite a while now, and the mythic items are now completed, so should be ready to press some buttons there.
Otherwise, hope so.
Otherwise, 100 Thieves are like, you know what? We're getting a full-scaling Viktor and Jinx ready. Okay.
Sion stacking health still. And honestly, I am impressed at the speed with which he has been able to charge up that tier. I was expecting his stacks to progress a little bit more slowly, but Ssumday's already got that thing 2/3 of the way done. Once that's completed, obviously he'll be going towards the Fimbulwinter with it. Also has the Bomby Cinder in his inventory now to deal with clearing the waves a little bit better. And he's been switched down into the bottom lane here to just sort of get away from that Gnar, who has a 55 CS lead over him at this point. And his job will just continue to be clearing waves while getting hit in the face over and over again underneath the turret, but at least it's a different flavor of that now.
Yeah. So since we haven't had any fights, we can start to build up the theoretical fights of how each team wants to execute them. Because, theoretical fights, right?
Oh boy.
You excited?
They're in my imagination is popping off right now.
Oh my god. Mini Gnar right now, though, does mean it's giving 100 Thieves the confidence to actually steal away blue buff here.
Nice.
So another non-confrontational exchange, as Licorice knows in Mini Gnar they didn't have any business going for it, but there's a Nocturne ultimate and the Realm Warp.
Here comes Ryze. They're ready to go. 100 Thieves backing away, turning it right back around. First blood over to Closer. He gets right back out. He stays alive. Pridestalker's about to die now, too. Super Mega Death Rocket barely goes wide, and it's still going to be a 1-for-0 play for 100 Thieves that Golden Guardians started off.
Oh my god, Closer just kicked him in the head. That was hilarious. 100 Thieves Thieves are so happy right now. They scaled really well through the mid game. And then the first attempt at the dive comp from Golden Guardians just gets stopped immediately. Ablaze donked right in the face there. Pridestalker flash was used as well. And 100 Thieves should be able to finish up on Rift Herald number 2 here. Yeah.
Man, that feels bad for Golden Guardians, forcing that fight and then losing it and losing a big chunk of your gold lead on top, giving away that second Rift Herald. Massive swing there for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, that was hilarious. I'm hoping that we're getting the replay of the initiation because that was a great, okay, perfect. Ask and ye shall receive. Here it is. So watch Closer here with the kick, but as well Huhi for the insta-stun. Pridestalker ults in. He safeguards back. Huhi ease immediately onto Ablaze as the Realm Warp is coming in. That was so good from him. And he hits it right where Ablaze pops up in the Realm Warp. So Ablaze didn't get to move. He gets hit with the E into stun, and they have the kickback. So they try and get this dive play started up with Realm Warp coming in, Nocturne over the top. You're not going to have Olleh trying to get his ultimate in there. And then Kaisa's supposed to ult in for the Killer Instinct over top, but he never gets started, Flowers.
Right.
No CC lands. They just get stuffed at the beginning of the play, so you don't even apply Plasma for the Kaisa to dive in, and it's immediately shut down.
Well played from 100 Thieves, but now we might see yet another dance in the river, this time in the south side. Let's see if 100 Thieves can find the engage they're looking for here. They will get the defensive ulti out of Pridestalker. They fall back, they hang out here in their control-warded brush, and now they're looking to re-engage. 100 Thieves, though, taking some damage. Huhi nearly dead. Not all the way, though. Still alive with about 100 HP. Golden Guardians are the ones doing better here. Kobe, both of our fights so far, the engaging team is the team that loses the fight.
So there was I think a miscommunication there because Ssumday was soaking some damage, and so Huhi actually went back in really deep, but his E connected onto Licorice. And so he's really deep, then he has to walk his way all the way out as Leona, and he took 80% of his health bar trying to walk back out, and so 100 Thieves then, they took so much damage for their front line that they have to give up an objective instead. And this time around, it's simply a matter of health bars there where, all right, well, since I E-connected on the Gnar so deep and he took a bunch of free damage to our front line, we can't fight, we give up Dragon. Okay, it's Dragon number 2. Golden Guardians, though, pretty happy to get right back on trap after the previous dive attempt was stuffed.
Yeah.
Even though they don't get kills, getting Dragon number 2, stacking along here for themselves is going to be nice. Olleh, though, is...
Ooh. Olleh could have been in a lot more trouble there if Huhi's E connected, but since it doesn't, the Nautilus stays alive. Now with a teleport coming in,
Huhi.
It's Golden Guardians turning the tables and slamming Huhi right into him. Olleh picks up that kill and finally gets Golden Guardians on the board 18 minutes into the game.
Yeah, man, it's kind of live and die by Huhi in the last couple ones. The fight where 100 Thieves win, Huhi, a really good prediction E right as Realm Warp is coming through, nails Ablaze, and they get the kill instantly plus the objective. But then the next 2 consecutive plays, Huhi goes deep, he has no flash on Leona as support, and it just leads to 100 Thieves having this deficit in front line, causing them to give up more ground. And 2.2k gold lead now for Golden Guardians with 2 dragons to boot is quite nice. All you have to do now is rotate Ryze into the side lane to split push, get these side lanes down so that you can then set up your dives at the neutral objectives that much more effectively. You want to split push first and then threaten from multiple angles the Ryze plus Nocturne plus Kaisa kind of backline death squad that's going to jump in there. And especially if any of these carries, either Abbeddage or FBI don't have flashes, that's where they execute it. So Golden Guardians is built to try and take down these 2 carries, these 2 flashes, diving into the backside, and their split pushing is going to allow them the positioning to be able to do that.
And you saw on your screen right there the effect of that split pushing right now. Licorice's bullying of Ssumday continues well into the mid-game. Ssumday has absolutely no way to answer the Gnar, had to ult away defensively, and now Golden Guardians have mounted the assault here in mid lane. They will break open that tier 1 turret, and that will complete the outer ring of turrets. So Golden Guardians now feels more confident, more comfortable. pushing up into 100 Thieves jungle, setting down some vision of their own. You can see Olleh with the sweeper, getting rid of any wards he might run into from the Thieves, and Golden Guardians are doing everything they can to push forward and control this map.
Yeah, this is a critical game. If we think about the state of the league right now for LCS rankings, if you look at Waiting Room at the beginning of the day, there was a theoretical bracket set up for playoffs if we took the teams right now. But if Golden Guardians win this, then they tie up with 100 Thieves, 6-6, and they can actually push very deep here, I feel like, into the upper echelons. Because a lot of their losses, too, at the beginning of the split were games where they had big advantages and were unable to close. So
yeah,
I really feel like this has been an upward trajectory of the Golden Guardians.
Totally agree.
And them definitely, you know, looking for one of those double elimination spots for the top 4 in playoffs is a very real possibility.
And I mean, for 100 Thieves, they're not performing to the level that I think a lot of people were expecting them to. Sitting on a record of 6-5, considering they're bringing back that championship roster, people were expecting more. People were expecting this to be one of those top teams, I think. Obviously, Team Liquid and Cloud9 sitting at the top right now, but 100 Thieves really would like to make a powerful showing during the last couple of weeks of play here in, you know, regular season before they can get to playoffs.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, 6-5. If you lose this game to Golden Guardians, you're now tied with them in the standings. 100 Thieves does not want to drop this game, but right now, Golden Guardians continue to build this lead further and further. Over 4,000 gold now. Still have the 2-1 Drake lead. Licorice going to back away now as Closer lands the Sonic Wave. Golden Guardians still with full control over 100 Thieves jungle. And with 45 seconds till the Drake, 100 Thieves going in, looking to make some kind of a play. Ssumday's here on the front line. Ssumday just gets exploded. 100 Thieves. He's coming back now. The zombie's ready to wreak some havoc. AblazeOlive's going to be shut down. Golden Guardians going to find one back onto FBI. It's a 2-for-1 so far. Golden Guardians looking to find even more. Huhi and Closer get themselves away. Golden Guardians take the fight with a +1.
Yeah, nice heads-up play from Olleh to recognize the kind of positioning advantage they could have when Ssumday ults there into the wall. They get a bunch of early damage onto the front line again. And since both these teams have pretty significant front lines, when you get an early DPS advantage on the front line, allows you to actually pull off the dive here later on because there's only one peeler you have to work around. But Closer goes pretty deep on that gravity field stun that Abba tries to set him up with. They don't go for the play onto Olleh, though, so no more deaths, and it just results in another effective split push there from Golden Guardians as Licorice gets that bottom side tower. This man has done so much. He was the entire gold lead basically early on in the game, and he's consistently split pushing here, you know, further boosted by the fact that you have threat of a Nocturne. But that is going to get really, really troublesome for 100 Thieves as it moves on. They will even up the Dragons, though, at the very least off the reset. So the threat of the Soul is not looming for either side.
Well, I mean, it's also the Cloud Soul, and I'm looking at the champions in this game. None of them are any of those, like, S-tier Cloud Soul champions that immediately come to mind, something like Hecarim or whatever, right? So I don't feel like this is demanding the same sort of attention that it would if it was an Infernal Soul, a Hextech Soul, anything else, really. So they're kind of just content to let those go back and forth. It's not really a big deal. Still a 5,000 gold lead for the Golden Guardians, but Olleh's about to get picked off if he ain't careful. Pridestalker going in looking for the kill on FBI, but a flash away keeps the AD carry safe. Now Closer stuck in the wrong spot, and Closer will pay the price, and Lost will take the money.
Oh, Licorice on the side is 2v1ing as well!
Nicely done. FBI falls, and the Golden Guardians will find 2 kills for nothing. They still got pretty solid health bars and control over the 100 Thieves jungle.
Golden Guardians are hulking out, Clayton. Oh my goodness. Licorice has been a beast this game. Slowly, methodically, just working the side lane, working Ssumday, creating his own advantage, and then there, 2v1ing, takes down FBI. And it is going to be Golden Guardians with Baron looking to push this one through to the Nexus.
Damn, man, 7,500 gold lead off of this one. Let's take another look, because it looked like Olleh got caught, but Golden Guardians turned it around nicely.
Exactly, this dive comp. So again, they want to play off of Nautilus ultimate, Nocturne ultimate immediately. there, forces the Jinx flash. And then you see Licorice coming by as he's charging up into Gnar. He's like, oh, I'm separated from my team. Well, never mind. I like those odds. He starts beating down on Ssumday and then flashes for the kill onto Jinx, takes down FBI off of the summoner spell advantage there, while the rest of his team dives in up on the top side. Kaisa, Killer Instinct, Lost getting some value as well, and look at that damage dealt.
Boom,
Licorice
baby.
is another carry for this team.
Licorice having an awesome game here today. He has been one of the players who's had some ups and downs throughout their performances so far this year. There's been some games where he has not looked super great, but this is one of the ones where I'm very impressed by what we're seeing. His split push game is on point. He's team fighting well and having good targeting there. Like you said, being able to recognize, oh, hey, let's just go in and kill FBI. He already flashed. The performance in this one, if Licorice keeps doing games like these, Golden Guardian's going to be looking good. Put another G in there with the GG. And now, 5-2, 8,000 gold lead. It's Golden Guardians with control over the map, control over the game, and they're shoving top lane in. This is the only tier 2 turret left standing for 100 Thieves. The Thieves' back is against the wall, Kobe. It seems like they have no choice but to just try to dig in and defend because they're so far behind now.
Exactly. They have no choice but to turtle now, because remember how we highlight previously, there's the two most important summoner spells in this game are these two flashes. When you're playing versus a dive comp that has everybody looking to dive in on your back line, literally every Golden Guardians member is like tracking this flash. All 5 of them in chat here are typing the timer at the exact same time. Like, guess what? FBI and Abba are going to be running for their lives.
Well, I hope they have not been skipping their cardio, my friend, because it's not an easy task. Now, Closer eats a little bit of damage. All right, jumps away, no big deal. Golden Guardians have a Guardian Angel for Pridestalker as well. That means Ballistic Missile Nocturne is engaged. He can fly in there with absolute reckless abandon, does not have to care about his own safety, and then the follow-up from the rest of the team will hopefully be in the right spot. We've seen what happens before when Realm Warps are a little bit unfortunate and well prepared for, but that was back a long time ago when the gold lead was much smaller and the game was much closer.
Yeah, now we're sitting at 9.4 thousand gold lead for the Golden Guardians, and 1 minute left on that dragon. There's a Realm Warp out. Those are much more successful. He's also got Baron Empowered Recall. There it goes. No problem there. Should be an easy reset for the Golden Guardians. Grab your control wards. All you have to do, again, since you've opened up the map so much, get your split push going, and if you have wards through this blue quadrant of the jungle, this one right here, then your threat of your dive is just always looming in the backs of the minds of those 100 Thieves carries. They know that if they are not holding hands literally with their front line to peel for them,
get your buddy,
and you're going to get dove.
Well, we've got, what is that, a little bit under a minute left on those flashes before those are available. And then for Abbeddage and FBI, they'll have a little bit more confidence in their ability to step forward and not be instantly dead. But it will be up to the Golden Guardians to break that confidence, of course. 5 seconds left on the Drake. Golden Guardians have total control of the map. I do not expect 100 Thieves to contest this in any way, shape, or form. And that means Pridestalker and Lost can burn it down for free.
Yep, gonna be there. Dragon soul point number 3 locked up here, and since there's not going to be another neutral objective to try and pull them to on the map for another 2 minutes till next Baron comes up, basically what you want to do is just push all 3 lanes in and increase your advantage by taking away jungle camps. You always have the possibilities of joining anyone who gets into a fight, because so much of your dive comp is about mobility, and you've got all these ultimates that can jump halfway across the map with Nocturne, with Kaisa, that you have actually the luxury of trying to play multiple lanes, push them all in, get 100 Thieves boxed inside their own territory, and then you just incrementally keep increasing your gold lead by taking away their jungle camps, denying them any access to that extra income.
And the way that I like to think about it with stealing away the jungle camps is the lead that you're building is actually double the gold value of the camp, because not only are you stealing away the 105 gold or whatever, you're stopping them from being able to get it. So they lose 105, you gain 105, boom, 210 gold difference, baby.
And the only thing you ever usually worry about is like, okay, well, what else would they be doing with their time? If you make them sit inside, go sit in the corner now, go to your room,
hang out with your tower.
Yeah, then they're not doing anything with their time. They're literally on timeout inside their base. You're not allowed to step out into the darkness. They're going for a play, though. Here we go.
All right, Ssumday tried to engage there, but Pridestalker's able to walk on out. Now Olleh tries to turn it around, but it's Olleh against the world. Now the rest of the Golden Guardians ready to follow up here a little bit. They were not able to follow up on Olleh's initial CC, so everybody walks away.
Yeah, I think that's a good call not to over-chase. Because the only way that your comp fails is if they effectively peel the Viktor and the Jinx. And if they're all clumped up like that, they can actually do it. Abbeddage is level 16 on this Viktor now, so even though 100 Thieves have been on timeout, he wants out of his room, and he can definitely do a lot of damage if you give the opportunity. We've seen many an AD carry get blown up by Viktor, so Lost has to be pretty thoughtful about how he uses his killer instinct going on. And this is not as poke heavy as the LCK Kaisas from mid lane that we have previously seen that we were talking about, you know, like Faker going to Ludens and stuff, but he does have a decent amount of AP still with the Nashers, just a little bit more of the auto focus, and we'll see as the clump here for 100 Thieves, you know, they're just trying to group around their two carries, give them some peeling power here. Without the Leona ultimate, that's going to be a bit scary, though.
Yeah, Solar Flare used. Golden Guardians. Pridestalker goes for a little bit there, but honestly just takes a whole bunch of damage. Now Licorice wants to jump in, but Licorice might just get exploded. 100 Thieves trying to regroup and reposition. Licorice finally going to get the Gnar bar charged, and Huhi goes over the wall only to die. Lost is on a killing spree, and Ssumday is going to join the 100 Thieves support in the graveyard. Next will be Closer.
Ooh,
he's just about gone. The Guardian Angel's going to bring him back, but it brings him back into a world of hurt. FBI joins the crew of death, and 100 Thieves have lost 3 players for only the jungler of the Golden Guardians.
That was a nice one there. Olleh knows only way out is trying to safeguard forward. Get a little pick there. Golden Guardians, Clayton. Honestly, they're just going to leave this base in rubble.
Yep.
Not going to be able to push through for the win, but the damage is really done. They've broken inside. The door is open. They can return at a later date. Yeah, they do have objective bounties on their side here for 100 Thieves to be able to pick up, so you don't want to overextend and allow them some sort of comeback mechanic here to get some more gold into those champs. Here's another look at the start, though. And again, remember, before this replay, the Leona ultimate was just used, so they don't have that for the peel. Right. They did get a good Sion knock up here, but it's still not enough to peel. And they chunk down Closer. The backline has to start flashing backwards, and even though their carries don't get dove, they just lose straight up front to back because there's so much of a gold advantage. That was that prediction hook from Olleh. That was really nice. Does get the Guardian Angel out of Closer, but he's able to slip away in the end. Regardless, Golden Guardians sweep into the base afterwards. Big rewards there. And he has gone Kraken instead of the later Ludens, which was the poke build that we were seeing from a lot of the other ones. So again, more of the auto attack and better late game. So it really looks good for Golden Guardians here as this Baron's already down to 5K.
All right, Golden Guardians want to try to burn it. Closer is nearby. Golden Guardians going to stop DPS on the objective and instead turn away over to the fight now that 100 Thieves are committing to. That 100 Thieves have already lost their top laner in,
down,
but they will get a trade 1-for-1. Ssumday's body will zone away the rest of the Golden Guardians, buying the 100 Thieves time to kill off Licorice.
Clay, that is 14 seconds before Dragon as well. This game is getting interesting. Let's see about this re-engage. There are no engage ultimates on 100 Thieves. Leona does not have it ready, but Olleh's in.
Olleh going for the dredge line. However, he eats a lot of damage from the carries of 100 Thieves. And now the Golden Guardians got to be careful. Lost goes unstoppable, but AblazeOlive falls. Pridestalker and Lost versus FBI, Abbeddage, and Closer. 100 Thieves, Kobe, are fighting back from an 11,000 gold deficit.
Timeout is over. Flowers are busting out of the room, and they're going to be able to get themselves to Cloud Soul Point here. Evening up the Dragons, 3 and 300 Thieves fight their way out. The Jinx and the Viktor remain alive. Let's take a look here in the flip the switch replay. This Baron was burning down too. I believe it was 5K at this point as they approach 6K health on the Baron, so they know they have to go. Leona ultimate into Sion ultimate gets these Zonias very early out of Ablaze, but then, yes, you can focus down this Sion, but he gets 2 lives. Even though Ssumday got pushed around all game long because of the passive, it's another pseudo frontline. And that's why we cautioned against the late game of the grouped up 100 Thieves. 2 immaculate teamfight carries behind a double front line there with the Sion passive. And then the re-engage in the 3v4 where Pridestalker wasn't even here. So that was a very reckless re-engage and a very costly one, as it did also give over and cede full control of that dragon. Lost now got hit.
Lost, what are you doing, buddy? He's in a real bad spot. Rooted up, but the cleanse is going to save him. Now the Golden Guardians are on the counterattack now. Closer's got to disengage. Ssumday's going to be killed first. Pridestalker's taken low, but he ain't dead yet. AblazeOlive tries to fight 1v4, and I'll tell you that went about as well as you would expect. 1-for-1 trade. The 100 Thieves carries are officially online.
Yes, they are. Viktor, 4 core items. The death cap's completed there for Abbeddage. Blue buff on top of it. This man is pumping on Viktor, and you've got Jinx resets to have to be aware of here on the side of Golden Guardians. They're going to take this opportunity, though, to start up once again on the Baron. You got to be careful with this one. Closer, if he steals it, it's not only a Baron stolen, it is an objective bounty shutdown, the most expensive kind as well, with the neutral objectives being based at 500 and increasing with the amount that you are behind. So 100 Thieves have so much slingshot potential in this game. They're already winning fights, and they're going to be collecting bounties soon as well.
Oh man, that once 11,000 gold lead is now back below 9,000. Abbeddage, as you already said, on 4 core items plus the boots. Very, very strong in the Viktor. That Jinx also with the 3-item power spike, where we generally consider hyper carry marksmen to become real champions at that point. This is scary, man. Golden Guardians could seriously lose this game against these 100 Thieves hyperscaling carries, but now Closer's gonna be caught. Nicely done from the Golden Guardians, but it's only gonna get a Guardian Angel, and now 100 Thieves are trying to fall back. Abbeddage is down. Huhi's gonna be taken low. Closer's still drawing the aggro, looking to find some sort of a kill onto Lost, and the man's gonna get it. Closer still being able to save this fight. He'll finally die, but Pridestalker can't kill FBI. Licorice is still here on the front line. Golden Guardians have lost 2, 100 Thieves have lost 2. A game that had no kills for 15 minutes is becoming a bloodbath in these late game fights.
And 100 Thieves have officially scaled. Here comes the objective shutdown as well. Slow onto Licorice. Gale Force in.
If that zap hit, he was dead. If that zap hit, it would have slowed him down enough
flank, though,
that they could have got the damage. FBI tries to disengage. He does not want to get rune prisoned here. If he has to give up Ssumday, hey, he'll do that. AblazeOlive still trying to chase the AD carry, but he can't quite get the range that he needs. Rockets being fired off. Fishbone's doing a little bit of work. Super Mega Death Rocket not going to hit the mark. With Licorice ready to transform, Huhi and FBI can't find anything back, so a good pickup there for a freebie kill onto Ssumday.
And that could mean Baron, because this death timer is desynced. Nobody else is going to be in the fountain for another 30 seconds there for Golden Guardians. They can move right out to the Baron. Teleport for Ssumday is available, so he's got Unleashed Teleport. If 100 Thieves can buy him that 30 seconds to revive, he can teleport back out to this Baron, but Golden Guardians aren't going to give them that time. They're rushing right into it, and they melt this thing now.
Yeah, you're talking
Nobody's
about
taking it, though.
You're talking about buying time. Time is expensive once you're at the full build point of the game or close to it. Golden Guardians will burn the Baron down, taking it down to half HP already. Sonic Wave over the wall from Closer. He knows it's in there. Pridestalker using the paranoia, wants to be ready for this. They do not want to burger flip this Baron. They want to secure it safely, and they do so. Well done from Golden Guardians.
Great denial there. Golden Guardians pick up the Baron, and now the transition over to Cloud Soul, Clayton. You've got Nocturne heading from base with no ultimate, but it was a Baron-empowered recall, and 100 Thieves I don't believe had vision of it. So as long as you know they didn't have vision of it, they're not going to rush into the situation, and Golden Guardians get the recall off. They get the base for Pridestalker. Actually pretty big without any sort of rush there from 100 Thieves. Now everybody, even 5-on-5, setting up for the Dragon Soul.
And remember, the Dragons have been back and forth this whole game. Both of our teams are on 3. Whoever gets it, one way or the other, it's Soul. Let's see it. Licorice here with the Guardian Angel on the Gnar, ready to revive if he needs to jump in. However, he has no Gnar bar charge. Now 100 Thieves, they're going to aggro the Drake, walk right back away. A little bit of lasers coming out there from Abbeddage. Golden Guardians still looking for their chance, looking for the moment. They want to allow Licorice to build up that Gnar bar if he can. Drake at half HP, Closers in the pit, Pridestalker's in the pit. Jungler's getting into a little bit of a one-on-one as Huhi's ready to go in, but Huhi's going to be killed in the front line immediately. Licorice taking the kill on that one. Dragon is low, and it's going to be claimed by Closer. Licorice into the Guardian Angel now as 100 Thieves are still looking to fight back. Licorice comes back to life. 100 Thieves very low HP on their AD carry. It'll be 1 kill for 1 kill. Never mind, make it into a Cathian rain from Lost.
I still can't believe he stole that with a Q, I believe. Closer was out of the pit. Golden Guardians don't care, though. They're all right. You got Soul, we got your base. We've got Baron, and we're pushing in.
They've also got the man advantage. That critical kill onto Abbeddage, desynced from the other two deaths. They're pushing towards the Nexus turrets now. There's also an open inhibitor there in mid lane. AblazeOlive with an Everfrost root into a stasis to keep himself safe as well. Licorice trying to back off, doesn't want to soak too much extra damage here. Just buys enough time to put the auto attack into the inhibitor. Now 100 Thieves is looking to get some sort of a counterattack. Ssumday looking to cut off Licorice from the rest of the team. Licorice immediately ready to slam Closer into the wall as he chases. Closer will heal up back off of the Wolf camp. Olleh now the target of the rest of the Thieves. They'll chase him down, they'll grab that kill. Rampage for FBI, 100 Thieves still alive. Their base is hurting though.
I want to see that Dragon Smite replay, okay? Because it was also an objective shutdown. The Closer's not done though. He wants Licorice's life as well. 2v1.
He'll try to find it, but the transformation, split-second timing, keeps the Golden Guardians top laner alive and puts Closer in the dirt for 50 seconds.
You could feel that one from Licorice Flowers. He was like, get off me! The kill as he transforms. Pridestalker getting him the time. My goodness. All right, here it is. I swear, Closer hops out of the back of this dragon pit and still gets it. Look, he's getting
Sonic Wave, baby.
fear tethered. Okay, but yeah, fight on top side, whatever. I'm looking at Dragon Health, 2.5k here. He hops out, he turns around, and he literally Qs it. I was right, for 32 health, the objective shutdown, and the Dragon Soul. Flowers.
That's a big deal, and it turns into
that is a valuable Q.
Yeah, that's sometimes some Qs are worth more than other Qs in a game of League of Legends, and that, my friend, is a high-value Q. Beautiful stuff coming out from Closer, but the challenge still remains for 100 Thieves to survive the Golden Guardians onslaught. Yes, they're scaling. Yes, they're powerful. But also, yes, their base is really messed up. This thing is busted all over the place, and that means they've got to defend further. You do not want to get triple inhib. The difference between 2 and 3 is massive. Having to deal with the double super minions in every single lane. 100 Thieves looking for their chance here. Licorice, I don't know what the hell that was, but it was not what they needed for the Golden Guardians.
Flowers, he did so much all game long, carrying Golden Guardians, beating Ssumday down in the top lane, huge CS advantages, huge lane priority, split pushing advantages, setting them up for these team fights, but now another death inside the base here, and 100 Thieves, you talked about how expensive time is.
Yeah.
It was all just paid for by the death of Licorice. Now they can farm it out with the double inhibitors down, wait for those things to respawn, and they're even just making a beeline right back down through mid lane into the face of those supers. I mean, this is full late game Viktor. This is full level 18, full build, okay? So it doesn't matter what went on in the early game. The reality is now, he's done, okay?
Yeah.
This is full late game, and FBI only has one more BF sword to upgrade into his Infinity Edge in inventory, and he'll be done scaling as well. He'll be full power Jinx. As soon as he gets to upgrade that, I mean, this has come full circle, my friends. Golden Guardians, another massive early game, but stumbling here at the end.
All right, so let's go ahead and take stock of where everything's going to be, because these timers are very important. The Baron is going to spawn in less than a minute, but the inhibitors for 100 Thieves will both be respawning in between 1 and 2 minutes from now. Now, those will both be up in time for the Elder, but I'm curious to see how Golden Guardians plays it.
Okay, we also got to hype up some of the possible crazy situations that can occur. Late game with an exposed base, Realm Warp can be a game changer.
Yes.
So can Realm Warping in and dropping a teleport ward for Licorice, for your Gnar. There are lots of things you can combo when you have these possibilities of the late game long-range mobility spells. So, you can Realm Warp minion lines up even further to try and get to take off the backdoor bonus.
Yep.
There's lots of options here for Golden Guardians. They're going to have to get a little bit creative. They're still looking for picks. They're still looking for dives, but this time around, it's a defensive Nocturne ultimate and a cleanse. Well done there from Huhi from 100 Thieves. With just that Leona ultimate, he gets out 2 pretty decent cooldowns.
And as the pressure in bottom lane continues from Licorice's split push, it's Golden Guardians making a call for the Baron. But now it's going to be tricky. AblazeOlive and Licorice back in the base. Golden Guardians over at the Baron, but now they're going to back away. 100 Thieves moving back to regroup with Ssumday. Man, every time this screen comes up, I have to just send my brain into overdrive mode because the base race multi-fight potential is always wild.
Loser has stolen many objectives in this game already. Can he get over to behind that Baron? He's the hope.
He's on the way.
He's going. There's the
Olleh flashes on the way, but
go.
now, nope, the Baron's going to be secured by the side of the Golden Guardians. Meanwhile, the 2v2 back over in the bot lane isn't going to lead to anything just yet, but the 100 Thieves are ready to collapse and go after Olleh here on the top side of the river. It'll be a trade. Baron for Olleh. We'll see if 100 Thieves can get anything out of that. The Elder spawns in 15 seconds, and all the inhibitors are ready to go again in the 100 Thieves base.
That's actually going to be massive here. Now, Baron does allow you to split a bit stronger, puts more threat on the minion waves, but if 100 Thieves can push out both mid and bottom, they won't have to care about it at all. So Nocturne ultimate in.
But they got to be careful to survive the dive. Pridestalker's looking for FBI, and they're going to get the Guardian Angel. Closer looking to fight back somehow, trying to stay alive in this one. Guardian Angel's popping left, right, and center. Pridestalker comes back to life. FBI's looking to get himself away to safety, and they're going to be able to take down Lost and Ablaze together. Both carries for the Golden Guardians are down. Licorice trying to split push in the bottom lane. I don't know if it means a damn thing. Kobe Abadaga's going to stop him. Flashing in for the Q1, not going to find the Q2 just yet. Licorice would have to kill inhibitors to get anything done here, and I don't see that happening with Abadaga right on his tail. Sterek's going to pop. He loses the shield. Golden Guardians have potentially thrown this game. 100 Thieves have scaled up, and 100 Thieves are now in the Golden Guardians Nexus turrets. Pridestalker trying to defend. Olleh trying to defend. 4v2 is not good numbers for a successful defense. And just like that, from an 11,000 gold deficit, 100 Thieves makes their comeback.
Take what's not given to you. Nate Shot's motto, the 100 Thieves take this game where they did not have business doing so. What a comeback there for the 100 Thieves. Picking the two late game scaling carries, even with the front line getting bullied early on. The two lives of Sion have so much value. So many of those team fights, they still get 1-for-1s because of the Sion passive being that front line. 100 Thieves, they play the long game. They make the comeback a reality.
They scaled up. They had enough time. They were down 11,000 gold. I'm not sure what the stat is on how often a team that falls down 11,000 gold wins, but I will tell you it is not very high. Golden Guardians, though, again, this feels like the most extreme example of their plight so far here in Spring Split. An 11,000 gold lead, absolutely smashing. Ssumday has been shut down, and Licorice is just bopping upside the head with a boomerang, bop, 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 over and over again. But it falls apart. This damn train can't keep the wheels on.
Yeah, it was so close there for them too. Really well executed dives for a lot of the duration of the game, but a couple messed up here towards the end. And I think it was really well done by 100 Thieves to huddle and how they played around Nocturne Ultimate and some of these possibilities, because that's a very scary perspective to play the game from the side of 100 Thieves, and they made good on it.
As soon as 100 Thieves started deathballing and team fighting, they were a force to be reckoned with. Now we're heading over to the stage to join the Tiger